The Greater Mekong Sub-Region, or GMS, is home to millions of farmers whose main source of livelihood is agriculture. Many of them are poor and are threatened by climate change. Climate change is a consequence of global warming, which is caused by increased amounts of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxides that trap and emit heat from the sun, thereby warming the atmosphere. Agriculture is a major contributor to global warming. Rice paddies, in particular, release methane when biomass, such as rice straw, is left to decay in the field without oxygen, or left underwater. Methane heats up the atmosphere more than carbon dioxide does. Chemical fertilizers also contribute to global warming because they release nitrous oxide, which heats the atmosphere more than carbon dioxide does. Burning of biomass in the open field also generates black carbon emissions, which have been identified as the second largest contributor to global warming. If we help these farmers avoid using chemical fertilizers or burning biomass and help them improve their farm practices, it will result in better crop yields and healthier communities. People will have a chance to live in a safer environment. One agriculture-related activity that is familiar to farmers that helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions is composting. Aerobic composting, or the decomposition of waste in the presence of oxygen, is one of the most practical ways in which greenhouse gases may be captured from the atmosphere while also improving farming systems. Examples of these are effective microorganism or EM-based composting and vermicomposting. While composting is already common practice among many farmers, they need support on making their projects eligible for carbon financing and thus earn carbon credits and added income. Especially during the initial stages of the process, farmers need basic technical know-how and financial assistance in order for them to develop a project proposal eligible for carbon financing. Efforts are now being made to address agriculture-related environment concerns through programs and projects supported by various institutions, one of which is the Asian Development Bank. Projects may become eligible for carbon financing if they have caused a verifiable reduction in greenhouse gas emissions and comply with all procedures of carbon financing mechanisms, such as the Clean Development Mechanism or CDM. Each country has a focal point for climate change, also known as the Designated National Authority or DNA. Staff members of these DNAs could link the groups of farmers to carbon consultants or NGOs that will advise them on the procedures and requirements of developing a project for carbon financing. The transaction cost of application for eligibility for carbon financing is commonly high. Hence, farmers would need financial support. A government fund can be allotted for this purpose, subject to low interest rates. Once projects are approved, farmers may be given continuous training and information on monitoring the greenhouse gas reduction achieved through a particular composting activity. As the project progresses, farmers will need to know how carbon credit sells in the international carbon market and how these credits can translate into income. Thus, they should be provided with an avenue to get this information. In summary, farmers need technical assistance for the development of a project, financial support, especially during the early stages of the project, training on methods such as composting, and awareness and information on how the carbon credits can work for them. If farmers' concerns are addressed and help is made accessible to them at critical points in the process, it should be easy for them to enlist their environment-friendly practices for carbon financing, and perhaps even create more initiatives on cutting down greenhouse gas emissions. The benefits of carbon financing are enormous, going beyond protecting the environment to actually providing added income to farmers. Best of all, farmers and the general population will have a better chance of living in an environment that is cleaner and safer.